Look at all these interesting bags. These are from a company called Crafted Goods. We're gonna do a quick look at these 4 bags from Crafted Goods. Now, why? Why? Let me just grab one of these. I'll tell you why. Because they're making very kind of interesting stuff. It's around, like, this one's I think about 200 bucks for the bag. They're not terribly expensive because they're made pretty well. Like, look at this AQUAGARD seal on these YKK zips. Look at the straps. They're sort of like interesting street style commuter bags is what I would probably call them. And I think that's an interesting market. I think a lot of us, we're commuting, we're designers. We used to listen to Fugazi or you know, who knows what. We're indie kids or we're street kids or we're like Mac DeMarco fans or we're whatever. Like, right? We need a bag that doesn't look too buttoned up. Okay, so these are obviously, we see this molly sort of thing. It's like a technical, but it's like got this sheen, like a sharkskin sheen. So it's like, it's technical, but it's mostly fashion. Then you got this one, their Eiger bag, which is got that rucksack vibe. This is a really functional bag. I'm gonna like showing you this one. You got a couple totes, like here's their Mr. Groove. They actually have pouches that can go on the outside of this, which I don't know, kind of make it look a little funky. But I like this aesthetic. This is a very interesting vibe. And then this is their Cubley tote backpack, or it also converts to an over-the-shoulder bag. That is like 110 bucks. Really, really cheap for ballistic nylon, aqua sealed zippers, kind of some interesting stuff going on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through these bags, kind of take you through how I would use them and what I think's interesting in them. Let's get into it. Okay, so here is the Cubley bag. All right, I got definitely got some few things to say about this. It's 100 bucks, like 110 bucks, very simple. The backpack straps really suck. You can't, this is as tight as I can get them, you know, so the bag hangs down fairly low. It's definitely made to be just like mostly a tote kind of thing. So lighter hauls, just a tote feels good with a backpack strap that you can use, you know, when you need it occasionally. But there's a reason why this bag's 100 bucks. I mean, there's nothing to it. There's one pocket. There's this thing right here, okay, which the good thing is it goes down all the way. We raised up our table here. Magic the Gathering. So this pocket goes all the way down. I put my glasses right in there. That's easy peasy, which is nice. Just got a nice little liner in there, sort of cheap. Feels fine. It's not, I shouldn't actually say it feels cheap. All liners feel cheap. That's the thing about a liner. But this, for example, feels better than that first generation of airbags that I used. Take a look at these backpack straps. They're very simple. This is a very simple bag. I don't like these backpack straps. I wanted to like them. I was stoked about them. Remind me of some Question bags. But as I put them on, like they're very uncomfortable and they don't have a sternum strap. They want to like pull off the side. So not recommended for backpack use. A couple nice things here. You see this? This is I don't know. I like the way this is made. This little clip is just like on there. Can you see that? It's just in there somehow. It's like fucking magic. I think it's a great piece of build out. Then at the top here, I actually cinched this down because, you know, if you get the water stuff going on, you cinch it up and then you're clean and clear from the water. Because this ballistic nylon has a natural kind of like keep the water away. There's a lining on it that does okay. But then inside, it's just one big pouch, right? So it's one big thing, which I don't mind that much. But the way that I'm set up right now, here's what's going on. There's a lot of things flopping around in there. So I have 2 pouches that I carry with me basically all the time. They used to be inside of this one pouch. If I was carrying this bag, I'd probably go back to this. All of this stuff fits inside of here. There's actually a little more in here. These are where I keep my dongles and stuff like that. Anyways, I did a video on this. I'll put it in a link in the description below. You can see what I think we need, like our little like tech bug out bags, the things that you need whenever you need them. I need that, so maybe you do too. So I've got those in there. Then I've got a water bottle that I just thrown in there. Now I love this Camelback shoot water bottle because it's got this thing that closes all the way and you don't have to suck on a nipple. I don't know. It feels good. Now, another thing that I like to carry around with me is a book. I'm still reading the Bell Notes. This guy created the first helicopter and then left to go figure out what consciousness is. I love that. I mean, we still literally don't know what consciousness is, you guys. Do you realize that? Like, take some mushrooms, do some meditation, try out some plant medicines. Let's talk about it. Get into your yogic energy body stuff. It's exciting. So then I have two things in here, okay? The first of all is because this is so just a pouch, I gotta go pouchy with all the things that I need. I don't have a place outside to put my my MacBook charger or my headphones or something like that, right? So I took this pouch, which I'll put a link to this actual model in the description below. It was very cheap. It's built really well. It's from Condor. It's like a tactical, it's like more material than I need, but I also like that my shit's protected. Specifically these headphones, which I did a huge review on what are the best Bluetooth headphones. I did a Deathmatch review. Check those out. These almost win. Watch the video, I'll put a link in the description below. So I want these to feel protected in there because they are somewhat delicate. And then I need my Glyph RAID hard drive, link to the description to all the shit below. A lot of you are ask about this privately, so it's my favorite. It's my favorite external hard drive right now. And then my MacBook charger. And that all goes in here with one of the zippered pouches up here. I throw my notebook. So basically what this is I get to the cafe, this comes out, and then my laptop comes out. All right, now my laptop in here I have inside of a case. This one's from YNOT. I'll put a link to the description this below because I like this one. It's made from Cordura. It's nice enough padding, but it's not like some big robust thing. I normally will try to leave that in the bag, and it's easy to slide this in and out. So I've got my computer and I've got my stuff that I need that's critical, and now I'm ready to work. I got everything I need in two things in and out of this bag. So because it's a very, you know, it's just a huge sack, that's what I had to do. Now, not recommended for carrying like this. Do not recommend this bag, okay? I do recommend it if you just want like a simple city bag for the weekend. Throw a blanket in there, a little packable blanket in case you go out to Dolores Park in San Francisco. You want to share a joint with a buddy, watch the fire dancers and get a little weird. Love this for that. Grab a 6-pack, throw it in there in a little cooler case or something. Like, the bummer is though for me, you just don't have good straps, so that's a bummer. Okay, now we are cooking with gas. This is their Mr. Groove sort of tote backpack. The only bummer about it is it's like $300 something. Okay, for a piece of like street technical gear, this is where we're getting into fashion, right? Which is fine. I'm okay with fashion. I like fashion. I pretend and think I want to be a fashionable guy. What is fashion? Fashion's how we signal to the people around us who we actually are, right? And what this is sort of saying is like this weird mix of tactical and just like, I want to say fashion. Like fashion for fashion's sake, style. It's like urban aesthetic with like, oh, this tactical stuff. So I put on one of the pouches here. There's two pouches and you can have them both on there. But then you have this like really like pouchy kind of vibe. It's just like, it's too pouchy. It feels weird. It looks kind of funky, especially when it's on your back. But I don't mind it that much when there's one pocket, and I find that you really need that on this bag. So inside of here right now, I've just got my glasses case, but these things are awesome little pouches. Like I take these off the bag and I use them in other bags, like just to be as a place to like put stuff. Really nice to have just a very functional medium-sized pocket right on the outside like that. I dig it. All of these zippers have this coating on it, this water-resistant Hypalon coating. They're YKK zippers. Okay, the handles feel great. The straps feel great. The straps can clip away and go away, which is nice. The straps go back here where there's actually a zipper down here. Who knows why? Who knows why? Because this gets you into that same place where the straps go. So I don't know why there's a zipper there. Oh, you know what? Maybe so that you can put your laptop or your luggage thing right through there. That would be really functional. So I'm assuming that's why. Solid, decent straps. Everything feels comfortable going on. It feels comfortable carrying it around. Just so you know, I'm 5'10", 190 pounds. Now, the thing that you're gonna notice about this is you've got this, this sailcloth material, this diamond sailclothy sort of thing. Same thing that the Outbreaker is made out of. The Tortuga Outbreaker makes some noise, you know what I mean? But it's double layer and it's like totally water resist. It's like waterproof effectively. So this bag has a very high rating of water resistance. These straps are really adjustable, so you can have them much longer so that the bag's like close to the ground and you just grab it. But as it is, I don't think you'd want them to be very much longer. I do appreciate the little bit of padding that they have inside of here. It's nice. This whole bag feels really nice. And I didn't know it was like almost, it was like 350 bucks or something. It makes sense because they put a lot of work into the double layer of the fabric, what's in there, all the zippers are expensive, the design and aesthetic is really nice. Now, opening up this bag and getting inside, it is like a tight, functional daily carry. All right, I've got a laptop compartment for my 15-inch MacBook Pro, which I dig. There's also a separate, like, you see this divider right here? This like sort of, this can button up against the top here. I like that because that's where I've thrown all my pouches, right? Just in there, and my book. So those are up and away from the rest of the stuff. I wish it was a little more, it'd be awesome if it was like a zipped, like mesh thing. But as it is, it's a padded full-on like pocket. It's a nice little separator. Then in the middle of the bag, I've got my pouch with my so I get there, I pull out my laptop, right? And then I grab my pouch and I've got everything I need. And then there's a zippered thing. Can you see this? There's this little zippered, how do I get this to you? There's this little zippered guy right here on the laptop sleeve. So you could throw in an iPad in there. It's not protected. It's another place for throwing stuff, flat things. It's actually, might even be wide enough for your business papers, man. I like that we got that white on the inside, makes it easier to see what's going on. So the Mr. Groove, this thing's solid. I think this thing's awesome. If you dig this aesthetic, obviously you're spending the money though. But what's cool about it is it's gonna last a long ass time, but it's like also just like a little day thing. Oh, one more thing. I can't use this pocket because I use it as a backpack and it's up against my back. It's a little thin, little quick access pocket, a little hidden pocket. Passport, keys, phone, things like that would easily fit in here. I don't really carry those things around, so I didn't use the pocket. Okay, now here's their Rigi backpack. Rigi, again, I am 5'10", 190 pounds. This thing comes in at 160 bucks about. Okay, some very interesting things going on. I like the material of the shoulder straps. This feels good. They've got a great little sternum strap and some interesting clips that they're using to adjust the height of the straps and stuff like that. Got one handle that's just webbing here. Comes with some hip straps, which I would immediately and promptly remove for use. Got some mesh in the back. These straps, I'm impressed with their straps. I think they're very solid for like 160 bucks. This is like a really nice, you see how contoured they are? You see how the contour comes in? This feels very comfortable. Now, you've got two clips on the side of the bag in case you really want to, protect yourself from the moisture. I almost never would do that, and so then I would have these guys dangling down here, which is a little bit of a bummer. Then you've got your clip over here for the roll top. The roll top gives you a lot of space, and at the top you've got some clips, all right? Nice little plastic, thick plastic in there that feels quality. I'll tell you what doesn't feel quality though. There's a couple things on this that don't feel quality, which I'm bummed about. Well, 1 second on that. You've got this huge zipper here, which is nice because what this is all one big front pocket, okay? That does have a very little bit of organization inside. So I threw my pouches inside of there. If I was carrying this bag, I'd want to go for something thinner than this, kind of thick. That is, some bags like a thick pouch like this, some bags like a thinner thing. So this one feels like it definitely likes a thinner, taller thing instead. Then inside of here, you've got this organization panel where just a very thin liner, and where I put my book. And here's my problem here. My problem here is how thin this liner is. It's the only thing between this stuff and the bag. So if you have things in here, and then you it's just like, you want a thicker fabric that creates a barrier between the front and the back. Otherwise, every little corner of the book, for example, that you put down, you're gonna catch it on that. So you're trying to slide something in to the main compartment, and it's getting caught on something in a different compartment. If that was just a little bit of a thicker material, that material would wrap around it more instead of just sitting on it like that when you're pushing down, and now you're pushing on the book instead of on the fabric guiding you down. So I think it needs a panel behind there that is thicker, and it does not have that right now. It's nice to have this big compartment though to separate different things. This zipper here is a YKK, and it's got the aqua seal on there. They don't spare the expenses there. That's just one of those things that's nice. YKK zippers, they just don't break down on you the same way that a lot of other zippers do. This material on the outside, it's sheeny. I don't know if it's gonna get caught on stuff, if it's gonna show abrasion very much. Definitely see a little bit there, but surprisingly robust. Now, one huge bummer for me on this bag is you've got this awesome zipper here to access the main compartment of the bag, including where your laptop is right there. But it's not large enough for a 15-inch laptop to get in there easily at all, nor I couldn't find a way to do it even at all. So you've got a laptop like holder on the back, which is very simple and minimal. It's not the most protected thing. In fact, it's not protected at all on the bottom. It is raised up off the bottom of the bag, and there is some little protection on the bottom of the bag. So you have some protection. It's just not very much. Like that same cheap little thin liner is the only thing that's on the bottom of your laptop. It's sort of a bummer. But really bummed about not being able to have like another inch or so to get into the bag to get my laptop in and out. That would have been nice. I don't know actually how nice it would have been because the bag's floppy anyways, so it's a lot easier to get into the bag this way. There's very thin material. I mean, this is like, so this isn't a stand-up kind of bag. So you put it on the ground, and to reach in, you're holding it, and so you can pull out your laptop. It's easy to do so. That's nice. Then you have this whole big pouch in here, or this whole big space in here, which is nice. Sweater, jacket, pigs. Some people like carrying their pigs in their bags. I think it's a health hazard, frankly. I just think pigs carry a lot of diseases that, I mean, not they're very clean. They're very clean, but the health hazard mostly is for the pig. It'll suffocate. Got my pouch that I've just thrown in there. So, you know, pulling things in and out is not that bad. You might carry very differently than I, and so it might not be an issue at all. So for 160 bucks, it's a pretty good option. I'll show you some bags at the end of this video that I think you might want to look at instead, possibly. But this is their Rigi, nice and lightweight, very minimal, chill, very stylish. You know, you could do a lot worse than this. Okay, so now we've got the Eiger, which is a 25-liter bag, definitely bigger than the others, definitely a little more robust in its construction. Definitely a little more to it. It feels like it's got a little more to it, which feels nice. Now, this guy comes in at 200 bucks, so you're paying for it a bit there. One of the things is nice, you got this outside water bottle pocket, more of that classic rucksack design. Cool branding, like, you know what I mean? The thing just feels like it's got a hipness to it. This crafted goods, Helvetica-esque, esque kind of just like utilitarian vibe. Feels like a good, solid, utilitarian, stylish option. Now, one thing I have noticed, obviously you're gonna be doing this to get in and out of the bag a lot. It's got those cool clips there, which is awesome, except for there's no real way to hold it when you put it in. It kind of sucks. So you got to learn, like actually you can hold it right from the tip back there. But sometimes you're in a funky place. It's sort of a weird, but you get used to it. It's not a big deal. I love this pocket back here. I always love the pockets at the top of these bags because they end up being like a lot larger than you'd think. This one isn't quite as big. Like the Tom Bin guide pack to me is the best example of this. Throw my glasses right in there. This is a perfect spot for your phone or something. Bummer that I can't like just you know, it's so floppy I can't just close this guy. So you got to do two-handed closure. Okay, then you have this little hidden vertical pocket right back here, which is nice. The whole panel opens up. I just threw my pouches in there, and you do have some organization. Can you see this? Yeah, there's no way you're gonna see it. There's a little bit of organization here, okay? Where you've got like a little panel of just some cheap, very cheap, like thin liner stuff. This is where bag companies can really go above and beyond. For instance, if that was a piece of nylon, like Boundary Supply uses for a bag that's like not very much more expensive than this, you can get the Boundary Supply Prima or Errant. Actually, I think the Errant is like less than $200. With like just some of the most killer materials and incredible organization and shit like that. But you don't have that simple classic rucksack look, right? You know, and the one thing I feel about these bags is they're looking to get, you know, like every company where it's like it's a dialogue between how much profit are we going to be able to get from each of these bags, and then what do we need to do to it to make the kids buy it. And so what they're really good at is getting the style. They're really good at getting the style. The organization and stuff like that, total afterthought. Not at all they're like the thing that they think is important, which is actually a fine way to live. What's really important, what's the size of it? Can you fit the stuff in it? Does it look right? That said, it would be awesome if this bag was 60 bucks. If this bag was 60 bucks, it would be like, oh, what a great bag for 60 bucks. $200 is a lot for me on this. You also have this zipper back here, which gets you into your laptop. Now, at first, I didn't know if my laptop was gonna fit because it didn't seem like it was, but that was kind of getting caught on something. So getting it in and out of here is actually a little bit of a hassle. Obviously not right now because I've got it loaded and ready to roll. Depending on what position you're in, trying to get things in and out, not the easiest, but there is some nice padding for my laptop. Feels definitely more padded and much more protected than in the previous one we were looking at. And then this gets you access to the whole main compartment as well, which of course you also access through these clips up here and this drawstring. By the way, one little piece of easy update is this string. There's like paracord or whatever can feel so much more quality than this cheap nylon string, but I don't know if that nylon is necessarily gonna break. And you can pull that little, rectum closed, pucker it up so you don't get any water in there. And then you've got like a lot of space. All I've got in here is my big pouch and my book that I've just thrown in here at the bottom. Also, I did not mention that there's some hip straps here, which I would totally take off and remove. They look like they're removable, but they also look like they're well made, so it's nice. Yeah, so this thing's interesting to me because it's got well made straps. It's like using pretty solid materials, like really solid materials. I like some of the design. I certainly like the aesthetic. I wish we could get this around the $80 mark, $120 mark. Then that'd be like, dude, Crafted Goods is crushing it. Or at $200, just replacing some of the cheap inside stuff, making our laptop a little more accessible, I think would be valuable, and maybe a little more padding to it. Materials like nylon would really take this to the next level. So other bags to check out. Check out this Boundary Supply Prima system. The thing about it is we lose all of our street cred because we look like, an extra from the movie The Rocketeer in some ways. It's got a very Elon Musk kind of quality to it, but what's great about it is the materials are killer. Like this thing is a kind of like, it's just built by badasses who are geeking out about materials to get you the best. They're making a real statement about here's what the best bag materials and like shape and size and organization we think for like adventure daily commuting. The Boundary Supply Prima system, I'll put a link to that in the description below at this time code. Listen, for a lot of you just need to stop right now and just go get the Evergoods CPL. I love this bag. Now, not a lot of you, actually for less of you than I wish. This is the perfect bag for a group of us, right? Very minimal aesthetic, very simple. Love this thing. Check out the Evergoods CPL. I'll put a link in the description below. Excellent make. Excellent design. Love this bag. So Kletterworks Summit. I think there's an interesting thing going on where there's like a little outdoorsy vibe, like that rucksack on that Rigi bag or whatever it was. Not the Rigi, but the whichever one it was. It has that outdoor aesthetic, but it's going street. I think go with a real outdoor bag and make it street. The Kletterworks Summit to me is fucking amazing. I think it was on sale recently for like 90 bucks and it is lovely to use. Interesting, innovative design, interesting organization, extremely well made. Love this pack, the Kletterworks Summit. Link in the description of that one below. Dude, Trakke bags, Trakke bags. These are killer. For the actual sort of like rucksack vibe, for the actual outdoor rucksack vibe, obviously you spend a little bit, but you already spent $200 on that other one. It's like, well, let's upgrade a little bit and go for wax canvas, go for seriously thoughtful design, things that we're like caring about like the pack, like a bunch. I think it's a fascinating bag. Trakke. Okay, and then I did a video on modern office bags that and I kind of get into some streety sort of vibe stuff in there. I'll put a link in the description below at this time code to that. So check it out. And that is it. Crafted Goods is making very interesting bags. I think you should know about them. On closer inspection, I get a little bit let down by some of the things, but those are so easily remedied. And I actually can tell like they've got like the aesthetic is right. So they've got interested, someone is there designing bags that are creative. And I think they're kind of nailing it. I think look for this company to grow potentially. I know that they're like a part of like a holding company with other bags. This happens a lot of the time. So it's not like it's like, I don't know if it's like a real inspired designer. It's not an indie founder at the core of it, which is typically what I like to look for, because then there's a story and there's intentionality and there's thoughtfulness and there's intuition and there's research behind it. So hopefully you found this helpful. I don't know how long it's going to be. If you're still here, I applaud you for thinking about the things that you purchase. And I also want to say, follow along and come with me, because I'm looking at all the products that we need for a considered life, because I'm not interested in wasting money. I'm not interested in contributing to a plastic island in the center of the ocean. I'm not interested in all that bullshit, man. I don't want baubles and bullshit. I want the real thing. And I think we can, like, one way that we can start talking about what the real thing is in the products that we're buying, and how we carry, what we carry with us, I think is a great place to start. So come along, follow along at home, subscribe if you'd like. And if you purchase these bags, please, any of these bags, any of the things that I talk about, oftentimes I get an affiliate relationship with people. So at no cost to you, I get a couple bucks back. These aren't paid. None of this is paid. People send me bags. They want me to talk about them. I tell you the truth. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. When you use the buttons, it helps me to do this full time. And I'm trying to do that. So come along. Find care, take care, serve hard, and dig in. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bagworks.co, JaceReeves.net. Those are the websites.
I guess those are the websites.
Yeah,
He's wanting us to, I guess, go check out what he's up to or something like that.
Yeah, looks nice.